Hello, my name is Aidan and welcome to another Golf Predictor video tutorial. In this video I shall be talking about the winner stats on Golf Predictor. To do that, we'll go to the other stats menu and see what's available. As you can see, there are three options for tournament winners on this menu. We will go through each of these options in more detail. I have already covered the winners form page on the performance likelihood video tutorial, but I will just do a brief recap here for the benefit of people who haven't seen that video. Okay, we'll start by going to the tournament winners page. So just click on the first option in the other stats menu and you'll be brought to the following page, which as usual I preloaded on a separate tab. As you can see, this page allows you to choose a GP season and a tour and shows all the matching winners for your selections. For each winner, you get the winner's name, nationality, his world ranking, the tournament he won, score, and the type of tournament it was. Now, as you can see, as usual, if you hover over the linkable details, such as the tournament name, you get more information on the tournament in that case, or on the golfer's first name, you see the rounds, scores, and his GP rank for the tournament. So scrolling down there, you can see all the tournament results winners for 2015 thus far on the US PGA Tour. And most of these columns are sortable as usual, but there's also charts you can use to get some information in a more digestible fashion. For example, you can see who has won the most, what countries have won the most, or what nationality of golfer. You can also see the highest world ranked and lowest world ranked, and the distribution of world rankings, which we'll click on now to have a look at. So this shows you at a glance the world rankings of the winners on the 2015 US Tour before the Wyndham Championship, which is this week. So you can see the biggest amount of winners, and unsurprisingly from the top 10 in the world ranking. As usual, hovering over a bar gives more information, so you see 34.3% roughly of all winners were in the top 10 in the world rankings when they won. Interestingly, you can see further down, here's one winner from 400 to 500 in the world. That was J.J. Henry at the recent Barracuda Championship. And also, slightly more interesting stat, you can see there are more winners in the 250 to 300 range in the world rankings than there are ranked 26 to 50, or 51 to 100, and so on up as far as 250. So that's quite surprising. There are more longer shots winning than golfers who are much higher ranked. So that's one interesting stat from this graphic. Above the chart is usually see more stats such as the average world ranking, the standard deviation of the world ranking, and the highest and the lowest ranked winners. So going back to the previous page again. Also on this page you can see the same average world ranking, which averages out all the data in the world ranking column that you see on the data table. Now there's also a link here that allows you to see almost exactly the same page, but instead of the world ranking, it's got the GP rank or the prediction ranking for the tournament. So it shows you in this column what their predicted ranking on Golf Predictor was, and these charts change accordingly. But that's the only difference to this page. It just replaces out the world ranking with the prediction ranking. So you can see the charts related to that instead of world ranking. Now, three of the most interesting and useful charts on the entire site can possibly be found on this page, and they are the round positions of the winners after each round of the tournament they won. So to see this, for example, for round one, you just click on the round one positions link. And this brings up a pie chart which shows you on the 2015 US PGA Tour what position the eventual winner was after round one. So you can see that the winner only led on 15% of the times of 50% of the tournaments, and the vast majority of leaders were actually outside the top 10 after the first round, which is quite surprising. That's almost 40, just over 45.5% exactly. So that's almost half the golfers are outside the top 10. So there's no need to panic if your chosen golfer is not doing so well after round one. So you can see here that the percentage of golfers who are leading or in the top 5 after round 1 would be the red and the blue segments, and them together would roughly be, in this case, about 43% if you add those two segments percentages together. So we'll just return to the previous page again. Now we go to the round 2 positions chart, which is the same thing, but except that has the winner's position after round 2. So you can see straight away that the winner, the top 5, and the leaders after segments have got much bigger than they were after round 1. So you can see as the tournament progresses, it's important for your chosen golfer to be in the top 5 for him to have a chance of winning if previous tournaments are anything to go by. So you can see that the percentage of times that the eventual winner was leading after round 2 is 27.3%, and top 5 is almost 40%. So that gives you 67% of the time the eventual winner was in the top 5 after round 2. So that's a very useful stat to have, especially for making fantasy golf substitutions or betting on golfers while the tournament is ongoing. So we'll just return and go to the final chart, which shows the same data for round 3. So you can see here again the red and blue take up almost all the chart, so that if you look at the percentage of times that the golfer who won the tournament was leading after round 3, you see it's just under 40% of the time, and it's 45.5% of the time that he was in the top 5. So you can see about 85% of the time the eventual winner of the tournament on the 2015 US PGA Tour was either winning or in the top 5 after round 3. So that's a very useful statistic that you can use to make your fantasy golf substitutions or your in-play betting. Very useful indeed. So we'll just go back to the previous page. So that's a quick overview of this page. I should just point out before I finish that if you click on the golfer's first name or surname, you'll be brought to the results page for that particular tournament for that particular golfer, and if you click on the tournament link, you'll be brought to that tournament page. So that's the tournament winners page in a nutshell. So now we will go up to the other stats menu and click on the winners form option, and we will briefly go over what this page does. And if you do that, you'll be brought to the following page, which I have also preloaded on a separate tab. As I said earlier, I already covered this particular page on the previous video tutorial on performance likelihood. So please refer to that video for more information on this particular page. But just to summarize what it does, it allows you to see for all the tournament winners their form in their previous 10 events. Okay, so you can also change the 10 tournaments that are shown in the 10 right hand columns here by going up to this drop down box and selecting from the options. Now, due to the limitations of this recording software, you cannot see the options, so you just have to trust me when I say that there are all tournaments, which is the default, shows the 10 previous tournaments regardless of type. You can pick historical, which shows all tournaments that the golfer played on the same course or at the same tournament, and the final option is similar events. So if the tournament run was a major, then it will show the previous 10 results in majors for the eventual winner. If the tournament was a WGC, it will show the 10 previous WGC results for the winner, and so on. So that's the tournament winners form page in a nutshell. So we will now finish this video by looking at the last winners page, which is the round rankings page. And if you click on the third option on the other stats menu, you'll be brought to the following page, which as usual I have preloaded on a separate tab. This page shows you all the tournament winners on the chosen tour in the chosen season, but it shows you their round ranks after every round. So you can see what position they were in the field after round 1, round 2 and round 3. Now this table is color coded, as you see there, where red means the golfer was leading after the round in question, pink he was top 5, yellow top 10 and so on. So you can see at a glance how the golfer did in the tournament as the rounds progressed. For example, you can see that Jason Day in the US PGA Championship that had just finished last week, he was top 3 all the time. He was third after round 1, second after round 2, and he was leading after round 3. On the other hand, you can see the winner from nowhere lately, Troy Merritt, in the Quickens Loans National. He was lowly 62nd after round 1. He shot up to 35th after round 2 and up into the lead after round 3. So you can see at a glance how the golfers won, whether they were front runners or whether they came from nowhere with the low rounds over the weekend to take a title. The 3 chart links you see there are the same charts we saw earlier for the positions of the winners after each round. And we should also note that these rankings do not indicate whether the golfer was tied for these positions or not, because we had to enable sorting on these columns. So that means you cannot have a T beforehand because it ruins the sorting. But if you want to see whether the golfer was tied or not, then you can click on the golfer first name or surname. For example, for Jason Day, if you click on Jason or Day, you'll be brought to the following page, which I have preloaded on a separate tab. This is the actual result for that tournament for Jason Day. So you can see some basic information and related performance information. You see the round scores, and here at the bottom you see the same round positions that you see in the data table on the previous page, but this time it indicates whether there was a tie or not, and you can see that he was actually tied for third after round 1, but he was in solo possession of second and first places after rounds 2 and 3 respectively. Okay, so going back to the tournament winners page, you can see that this is a really useful page for seeing how golfers progress through the tournaments that they won. I should point out at this stage as well that subscribers only can see the tournament winners form page and this round rankings page. Unsubscribers will be able to see the tournament winners page, but they will not be able to see these very useful round 1 positions pie charts, round 2 and round 3 positions as well. So please consider subscribing to get the most out of Golf Predictor. Okay, that's about it for this tutorial. I hope you found it useful, and thanks for watching.